Okay, guys, we got to talk about cancer. Cancer is not fun. My dad died of cancer, and so I am very well aware of the pain, the suffering, and the emotional difficulty that cancer causes to everyone that it touches. So for me to talk about cancer is not only something that's difficult emotionally, but it's also difficult for me professionally. Because as a nurse, there's certain things that I can and I cannot say. Okay? I have taken oaths, I have a professional liability, and so I have to be very careful what I say about natural remedies and cancer. And so I'm going to be very gentle, I'm going to be very careful, but I have to say it, okay? So, here we go. Cancer, you have to understand, is abnormal cell growth. That's the first thing you have to get. Abnormal cell growth is what cancer is. Very basic definition. We all have abnormal cell growth in our bodies, every single one of us. But our body is generally able to control it, okay? For instance, skin tags. I have skin tags. That's an abnormal cell growth. That's a type of tumor, okay? Every single person has some sort of abnormal cell growth. That's number one. Number two, cancer tumors, cancerous cells, do not have their own circulation. They cannot create their own circulation. They rely on the blood that your body produces. That's number two. Number three, cancer cannot cool itself. Cancer relies on the body temperature that you provide it to either thrive or die. Okay? So those are three things to remember. Abnormal cell growth, everybody has them. It cannot create its own circulation, relies on your blood, and it cannot cool itself. It cannot moderate its own temperature. Okay? So, you have to take advantage, if you have cancer, of those three things in order to fight it. The first thing that you will use to fight cancer is, number one, taking advantage of the fact that it uses your blood. So, it would behoove you to have really powerful blood, right? Okay, how do you have powerful blood? By having a blood transfusion, right? If you could transfuse your blood with very powerful blood, boom, done. Well, most of us cannot swap out our blood for really powerful blood, but there's an alternative. That alternative is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is just like the human blood, except for one molecule. The iron in blood that makes it red is swapped for magnesium, which is what makes it green in chlorophyll. Okay? That's a very basic breakdown. There's a lot more chemistry to it, but the point is that there's only one molecule difference between human blood and green plant blood. So, how do you give yourself a plant blood transfusion? You drink green juice, okay? If I had cancer, and with my dad, this is what I did. I gave him green juice to drink. That's all that I would drink. Depending on how determined I was to get rid of my bad blood, that is all that I would partake of, is green juice. Got it? That gives you powerful blood transfusion. Simple. All right? Now, this is just for educational purposes only. That's my disclaimer. Done. Second thing. Cancer cannot cool itself. Relies on the body temperature. So, how do you modify the body temperature and affect cancer? by using water, hydrotherapy, okay? Water to the skin, hot water, cold water, the alternating hot and cold. That's one way. 3 minutes hot in the shower, 30 seconds cold. All the hot water off. Back and forth 3 times, about 10 minutes every day. 3 times a day if you have cancer. That's what I would do if I had cancer. That boosts your immune system approximately 30% every time you do it. So every day, 3 times, that's approximately 100% boost of your immune system. That will help you, help your blood, help move the blood around and bring healthy blood that you have supercharged with chlorophyll to that location, to that cancerous area. Because one other thing about cancer is that it forms in areas that are not getting blood supply. Okay? So when you bring healthy, supercharged blood to that area, it helps combat the cancer. Now, the other thing that you can do, which I'm not going to go into detail, but you can research it, learn the steps. Again, this is for educational purposes only. You look up fever bath therapy. Fever bath therapy. It's basically raising the body temperature so that you have a fever, an artificially induced fever, which triggers a whole cascade of body reactions that supercharges the immune system. I had one guy who actually had taken chemotherapy, wiped out his white cell count. You know, they give artificial white blood cells to chemotherapy patients to bring their immune system back up because it wipes it out. And we were doing fever therapy on him and maintaining his white count higher and longer than the shot just by doing fever therapy on him. Again, this is for educational purposes only. And just educate yourself. You have to educate yourself on these things. But I'm trying to make it very, very simple because cancer is given this obscure, highfalutin, educated sounding, in the dark type hidden knowledge. And it's not. It's just abnormal cells that are not getting enough good blood, and they get out of hand. The other thing that you have to understand about cancer, this is the last point, is that it feeds on sugar. It feeds on any kind of sugar it can get a hold of. So, when you drink your green juice, you want that to be pretty much the only thing you're putting in your body, because then the cancer is forced to use what is available to grow. And if what's available to grow is a bunch of supercharged, super fighting blood, it's going to have problems. It's going to break down. It's going to start decreasing in size. And so if I had cancer, I would drink green juice only. I would do my hot and cold shower 3 times a day to move the blood. I would start exercising. I would eliminate all sources of sugar in my diet, meat and dairy products, anything that can poison my blood and make it a source of growth for the cancer. And then I would pray. Those are the things that I would do starting today if I had a cancer diagnosis. And that's where I would go from there. I've seen it work on my dad. Unfortunately, he didn't want to stick to the diet. He didn't want to stick to the program. He got tired of it. It's not easy. But if you're dying, if your prognosis is not good, I promise you, green juice is better than death. So, there you have it. This is part 1. I'll go into more detail in more videos later.